Internets, hello you lovelies, let's talk about all things D23. Now, it is still going on as of filming this, but all the panels talking about movie and TV news are over, so it's safe to do kind of a summary of all the excitement out of there, and I was lucky enough to be in the giant entertainment showcase they did on Friday that was 3 hours long. And since it was 3 hours long, I'm going to break down all the news from that panel that I personally enjoyed into a few different videos. I'm going to do a Marvel video, a Star Wars video, a live action video, and an animated video. That'll be your Pixar, your Disney animation, your live action is going to be all the adaptations, the new stuff we heard about like Monster Jam. This video is going to be all the Marvel stuff. Now, we got Fantastic Four news, Cap 4 news, Agatha All Along, Ironheart, tons of Daredevil, and even an introduction from Ryan Reynolds. Going to talk about all that right here in this video. But if you're new to this page, it is comic book based. We do some movie reviews and movie news and all the stuff I love, but I really love getting people into the world of comics. So if you want comic book news and reviews about the book themselves or the adaptation, you're in the right place. I'm trying to grow this to 40K, so hit that subscription bell. Also, leave a like and leave a comment below letting me know what you liked most out of the Marvel presentation of D23 right here. And stay tuned, keep an eye out for the Star Wars one. Let's get into it because I hate long intros. Let's talk Marvel. Marvel panel kicked off with Ryan Reynolds over video delivering a message to us and Kevin Feige, basically saying like he was so honored at the swings they got to take with Deadpool and Wolverine, so proud of the fans, so excited to reach that billion, but also acknowledging that the jabs taken at Marvel did help keep the studio alive. I enjoy the fact that that was tongue-in-cheek and very Deadpool, but also a little bit true. It's really a big win for Marvel, and what a great way to kick off the presentation, and the awareness of Marvel right now has been delightful. He introduced Kevin Feige, calling him the original Marvel Jesus. Kevin Feige came out and brought us 2 movies, and I expected this to be pretty much all TV. So the fact that we got 2 movie kind of panel elements in this was a surprise to me, and great for me personally because I missed the San Diego Comic-Con presentation because I was hosting 2 panels while that was going on. I physically couldn't be there, so I finally got to see the Fantastic Four footage, which, oh boy, can't wait to talk about. But the panel itself kicked off with Captain America 4. Now, this footage I had heard all about, but I hadn't seen. It included Red Hulk. It included Harrison Ford saying the word Adamatium, which, if you've seen my Capes and Cowls stuff, I forgot that technically, with Deadpool being in the MCU, that's the first MCU movie to say Adamatium, but they were in another Earth. They weren't in the Sacred Timeline. So I stand by my statement. The first time in the Sacred Timeline Adamatium is said is by Harrison Ford, and that feels insane. It's a very beautiful bit of footage. It's very thick with espionage. It's got that spy thriller element we love from Winter Soldier. It's got the fights from Winter Soldier we love. They definitely know what direction they're trying to take this film. It feels very specific, and that's very exciting to me. It also, much like Winter Soldier, which had that Robert Redford flavor, this feels very much like a 70s Harrison Ford flavored film. So that's really cool when they've got, you know, your grizzled veteran actor antagonist as kind of the shape and format and flavor of the film. I think that's really special. So, looks great. The flying stuff looks great. The overall tone looks amazing. Harrison Ford as Red Hulk looks awesome. I kind of wish I hadn't seen that until the movie, but I know they got to sell tickets, so it's kind of a bummer. We live in an age where everything has to be revealed, but here we are. It looks awesome. I can't wait to see it in the big screen, but this footage did impress me. Even having heard a lot about it, it's still cool to see myself, and Anthony Mackie is charming as ever. He was on stage with Kevin Feige and was so consistently yelling jokes. I felt like they were playing him off with music, and he wasn't letting him stop him. He was yelling about Harrison Ford's chest hair. He was yelling all about, like, the power of what they're doing, and it just felt like he had the best time promoting this movie, and I'm really excited for the press tour around this because of Anthony Mackie's joy. It was a delight. Over to Fantastic Four. This footage I had heard a lot about, and I kept almost seeing it, like scrolling Twitter, and I'd scroll past because I don't want to see it halfway. I want to see it delivered to me in the best possible format, and I'm so glad I did that because it is so unique in its retrofuturism. It is so tinged with this Tomorrowland spirit of wonder. It feels so of a bygone era of hope, and I feel like this is going to be the kindred film to Superman next year. They're releasing very close together, the costumes are also vibrant, and there's that sense of hope and wonder in both of these properties. Marvel's first family has always been that 60s era hope and dream scenario that we remember. I don't know if that actually how it was, I wasn't alive, but that's how we seem to perceive the 60s, and I think that's really exciting that we have the Boy Scout of Superman and these Marvel's first family elements coming out so close together next year, and this footage was so special. It's Previz footage, largely, from before they even started shooting, and it just captures something. There's also a little bit vignette video they sent beforehand, before the footage, that is them on set, and seeing them as a family, to see Ebon Moss-Bachrach as Ben Grimm sitting there kind of begrudgingly, to see the beautiful chemistry between Sue and Reed as Pedro and Kirby. Like, that's so cool, and just, I love their chemistry. To see Johnny Storm in the spacesuit outfit that's going to evolve into their super suits, that definitely looks like the John Byrne era. Like, it's got shades of the John Byrne Fantastic Four, which is next to the original Kirby Stan Lee FF. This is the visual I think of, is this time in Fantastic Four. The current run, by the way, of Fantastic Four is my personal favorite of all time, and that's saying a lot. I love the Byrne stuff, I love the Stan Lee stuff, I love the Hickman stuff, but the Ryan North run right now, it's on like issue 30, is incredible. I could not recommend it more. If you want to discover the Fantastic Four, go to issue 1 from like 2019. It's very recent. Might even be 2020. It's very recent, but covers that look like this, these Alex Ross covers, find the number ones, or pick up the current issue right now. It is such good stuff. But that footage itself, it was really cool to see the silhouette of Ben Grimm as the Thing in a dating show. It was really cool to see Reed teaching. It was amazing to see Galactus. I cannot wait to hear his voice coming out. That booming actor they cast is so perfect. Love to see an actual comic-accurate Galactus, not a space cloud. All of this excited me to no end, and though they weren't there to present it, because they're literally out filming, I did get that sense of wonder I was hoping for. I did get that sense of scope, and that was so special to me. From Fantastic Four, we went over to my big hope for D23. The thing I wanted to see most out of D23, besides Daredevil Born Again, was Ironheart. Now, Ironheart, I saw footage of at D23 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they showed a trailer that I actually preferred. So, I will admit, Ironheart, this is the first time I've been worried about it. I personally loved the footage from D23 2 years ago more than even her portrayal in Wakanda Forever, which I know they had to readjust and everything due to the tragic passing of Chadwick, but it definitely, and she was meant to be in the film before we lost him. They screen tested together. But I do find that the character felt like an addition versus a piece of the overall plan. It did feel like one of the only times, for me, and a lot of people have this problem more often, but for me, it did feel like, oh, we need to introduce this new character, let's find a place for her here. The footage we saw 2 years ago did not feel like that. This footage felt a little tonally off to me. I remember that first footage felt like this really street-level, gritty MIT student trying to navigate getting money legally in an age of people having to do what you gotta do to make money, and her needing her suit to exist after the events of Wakanda Forever. They basically navigated a world of what do you do when you're a smart scientist in a world that money doesn't come until later being a smart scientist, and this footage felt like that, certainly, but it just felt a little like tonally off to me as compared to that one. That one felt like one beautiful, almost Wu-Tang and American story, but a little lighter. Obviously, that show's pretty dark. But it felt like that navigating the world, trying to make money, trying to figure out who you are using your smarts. And that's the thing I've always loved about, an American Saga. This, to me, felt like it was that mixed with some of the Marvel, needs, and I'm hoping it lands feeling more like the original footage than this footage to me, but that said, this footage, it was great to see Alden Ehrenreich for a quick moment, looking haggard and long-haired. Love that dude's work. It's also great to see what we're getting from Deja from This Is Us is in it. She seems to play the best friend. Also great to see Dominic Thorne show some passion for this role. I've gotten to talk to Dominic Thorne a number of times, and she is a Bendis character. Brian Michael Bendis invented Riri Williams, and every time I've talked to Dominique, her cadence, her vernacular, the way she delivers language feels so Bendis that I've been so excited to see her fly, literally, as Riri Williams, and I think that's to come, so I'm still very excited for this property. I know the internet is mad at me for being excited because they're not, but this is my excitement, not yours, so if you want to complain, do it in the comments because that only helps the engagement in this video, so cry all you want, I'm excited. From Ironheart, we got into Daredevil Born Again. Now, Daredevil Born Again was, I thought, going to be the big finale of D23. Marvel didn't even end the ceremony. It was hour 2, and it went 3 hours. I, thought this was a 2-hour experience, so I really thought Born Again would be the Downey Doom moment, but we had a lot more to go after this, and it wasn't even the final Marvel moment. The Daredevil stuff was incredible. Not only was the whole cast back, not only was it amazing to see Charlie Cox and D'Onofrio, who we've seen on stage a few times. They were at D23 a few years ago. I've gotten to interview them at panels. We've seen them as these two characters since in other properties. Obviously, Kingpin in Echo and Hawkeye, Daredevil in, Matt Murdock in Spider-Man, Daredevil in Echo. We've seen these characters, but it was the Daredevil cast again. We got to see Foggy, we got to see Karen, we got to see and hear the great John Bernthal back as Punisher, and that was already awesome enough. To hear John Bernthal's pride for this character, to see them all on stage, that felt powerful, but they also gave us an incredible teaser. Now, this teaser for me was a highlight of the entire con, or the entire experience. I don't know if it's called a con, but D23 gave us a lot, and I think in my top 5 was this Daredevil footage, because it featured multiple masks, which has me asking so many questions. Like, yes, we've seen the yellow suit because of She-Hulk, but are we getting some of the darker elements of certain modern storylines and possession and things? Are we getting certain earlier runs of Daredevil? Like, these masks imply a lot of things, and even if they don't go that way, it's exciting to nod towards them. What we do know we're getting is not just White Tiger, which was shown in the trailer. We got to see flashes of him with and without his mask, but Muse, man. Muse looks incredible. Muse is a villain from a very recent run written by Chip Zdarsky, and he was co-designed by the great Ron Garney. Ron Garney is an artist I adore. Ron Garney and I did Hall H together for Berserker. Ron Garney is one of the best Spider-Man artists, Captain America artists. He's one of the greats, and he co-designed Muse, and Muse is terrifying, and his suit looks pitch perfect in live action. I love the look of Muse. This has me super excited because I wasn't sure how that would translate. And on top of White Tiger and Muse, we got to see some actual fights. We got a beautiful reference to the Spider-Man No Way Home line. He actually says, because I'm a really good lawyer, in a really cheeky, fun way. And the fights feel and look like Netflix. There's about a 30-second moment in this 2 minutes of footage where it's this very intense. There's a blood drop. The blood drop, for some reason, made me go like, oh, Netflix is back. But the way the blood is used, the way the choreography is done, the way the lighting is done, all of that feels like Netflix. And then there's also a really beautiful moment with Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock knowing each other is Kingpin and Daredevil, respectively. To see Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio face off like that again, especially after the events of Season 3, feels so insane and powerful, and I'm really curious, are they going to have to reluctantly team up? I know Fisk is mayor, effectively. Like, all of this is so exciting and different and bold that I'm more excited than ever, and it feels like we had that gap, but now it is time for Season 4 of this show. Now, it is technically another universe. I don't think this is technically canon with the events of Netflix, but it's definitely a pivot from what they were originally going to do with the Spin City tone thing that they were building with Daredevil as an 18-episode show. In addition to showing us the footage and having the cast and everything else, they did confirm they're about to go shoot Season 2. So we quietly heard that Season 2 is greenlit. They're going to film the damn thing, so when Daredevil drops this upcoming year in a few months, I think it'll be about a year turnaround till Season 2, which is more and more rare. So we're getting a Daredevil Season 2, and we're getting a Netflix feel back to Daredevil. We even got Bullseye in the trailer. Like, we got everything we wanted. We're getting that story continuing, and I'm so excited, even if they have to do some multiversal shenanigans. I don't know if it's because of legal or what. I don't know why it's not allowed to be Season 4, but it does seem to be born again, as in born anew in the MCU, but with the tone we've all wanted. Very curious to see how it plays out. I'm probably overcomplicating it, but all of it looks, it was already one of my most anticipated things. It is skyrocketing in excitement. And then the Marvel panel finished with Agatha. Now, Agatha All Along is out in a few weeks. It is out in mid-September. It is currently almost mid-August. I think we're like 6 weeks out from Agatha All Along as of filming this, and they showed not only a new trailer, which I think is available to the public, but they also did a full song. And I'm not much of a musical guy, but to see a live stage show with Catherine Hahn singing, with Patty singing, and Aubrey Plaza, and all these women actually doing this incredible performance as witches in robes and all that, really ties into everything that feels like this show. And the footage itself, which you can check out, definitely feels more like what I wanted it to. As far as tone, the first teaser for me, I know a lot of people loved, didn't totally sell me. This one feels like that spooky vibe that you want out of a fall show, especially from Disney. It gives me that hocus pocus energy. It gives me that really fun, I love the fall and Halloween vibe. Like, that's what this show can be. It can be a seasonal show without having to be like the Guardians Christmas special, which is perfectly awesome. But a whole show set in spooky season to give us hocus pocus vibes, yes, all in. Plus, I'm assuming we get Mephisto, which has been softly rumored. I also think it leads to Doom in a way that I think Doom's mother is probably introduced. I also think the blend of magic and tech is very important for Doom, and through Ironheart, which introduces the Hood, Anthony Ramos, and all the magic of Agatha, I think that is going to lead beautifully to whatever Downey's going to end up doing as Doom, which I still have conflicting feelings about. But I think Agatha is going to be more important to the greater MCU once we meet Doom. Even if the show doesn't initially feel like it, I think this is leading to something really special. So that was all the Marvel stuff. I was really impressed overall at the panel. I'm glad they didn't introduce anything new. I'm glad personally they didn't map out 5 years from now. They're just focusing on their next few things, and I think that's very smart with all the adjustments they've had to do lately, and it's also very smart with everything they've had to navigate with things outside of their control. It's also really exciting to know that there's more to come that we haven't really heard about. Yes, we got Ironheart a little bit more in those things, but we still don't know what's going on with Wonder Man. We still don't know what's going on with Armor Wars. We still have things on the docket to share at San Diego next year, at D23 in 2 years. Whenever these things get moved around, I'm excited to find out. So that is going to do it for our Marvel talk. There was lots of stuff to discuss. Please let me know in the comments below. Let's have this be like a comic book store. In the comments, let's have civil conversations about all things Marvel TV and film. What are you most excited about? Was that Daredevil footage everything you wanted it to be? Are you as excited for Ironheart as I am? Are you going to be watching Agatha in a few weeks? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of Red Hulk? Let's have a conversation. Also, keep your eyes peeled for that Star Wars video dropping very, very soon. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. I don't even know how you leave that, but do it. Leave here, subscribe. That's what I want you to do. All right, much love. I'll see you guys very soon for way more coverage.